West Ham versus Chelsea. I mean, at the start of the season, if I said 24th of April, West Ham versus Chelsea, where are these two teams going to be in the league? I don't think we would have got it right, would we?
I would have said relegation battle for West Ham United.
Yeah.
I'm one of these people that doubted David Moyes as well. Well, I take it all back, to be perfectly frank, because what he's managed to get out of that squad so far this season makes him a candidate for manager of the year, and a very strong candidate for manager of the year as well. But there are some people saying the impact that Thomas Tuchel has had, and it has been pretty remarkable, makes him a candidate. You're already shaking your head, James.
No,
Why?
I think, do you know what? He needs to be careful, Thomas Tuchel, because it's on a knife edge with him, because he is Chelsea manager. And if you look at the games that he's played recently, I think it's only, they've only won 3 of their last 8 in the league, drawn 4 in that time as well. Yes, they've only lost 1, but that's not manager of the year talk. Those numbers don't, surely. If you think of the expectations of where Chelsea were expected to be at the start of the season, dare I say it, this is going to age well or it's going to age badly. If he doesn't win this game and finish in the top 4, a lot of people were going, why did we get rid of Frank Lampard? For what? I get they're manoeuvring very well, obviously getting to an FA Cup final, looking good in these cup competitions. But they need to, that was the remit at the start of the season, to finish in that top 4 again with the money that has been spent. If they stumble and don't do that, and this game is going to be a big sort of marker for that, then I don't think it's anywhere near manager of the year. And I think you've got to look at that other dugout. David Moyes has to be manager of the year for me. Do you agree?
Well, I think Pep Guardiola might have something to say about that, particularly if he wins.
He's lost 4 games. I'm not having it. You've got to go invincible, and I need a quadruple as well if you want to be manager of the year, Pep.
Yeah, I know. Basically, he lost 1 game in the FA Cup to Chelsea, and suddenly he was the worst manager in the league. Look, I think it's an interesting one. One of the reasons that I'd say Thomas Tuchel is there compared to Frank Lampard is there was a bit of disarray at Chelsea when Frank Lampard was the manager, particularly in how the squad was managed. Now we have a very clear indication on how Chelsea play and the personnel they want in each position. They're getting more from Kai Havertz, who is a player that I've got to say this weekend I think could have a big effect. Even though he's not an out-and-out goal scorer, in this role as the false 9, how he's been deployed by Thomas Tuchel, he's getting in the right areas. You know, he's not the fastest. He's not the strongest. He's quite skillful. He's got an eye for goal. And I think if he just picks up the right pockets and areas of space, which he is, he's just not finishing the chances off, which is a problem Timo Werner's had as well at Chelsea so far this season. I think he could be very effective in this run in Kai Havertz. I think Thomas Tuchel sat down, drawn up a master plan to get the most out of a £71 million signing. And I think we're going to see a very different Kai Havertz very soon.
Yeah, I feel like he's the kind of player that if the team's clicking, he's probably going to be clicking as well. I think we saw that in the Crystal Palace game. It's really interesting that those front 3 positions and who he's going to pick, because he has got such depth there. But again, the chemistry's not been there throughout the season. So with some of the performance that you've seen with Kai Havertz, I guess one thing to sort of muse over is the idea of who does he play in this game? Because you've got yourself, a Champions League semi-final on the way. How do you sort of divvy up your squad, or do you play the best team in both? Because this is a massive, massive game for Chelsea. It's tough.
It is. And Thomas Tuchel won't worry about saving players for the Champions League. And to be honest, he shouldn't, because he's got 2 shots at that semi-final. It's a 2-legged affair. He's only got 1 shot at West Ham. And to be honest, if Chelsea win this game, they could pretty much destroy West Ham's Champions League hopes as well. They'll know that they will go for the jugular here against a London rival. I think, to be perfectly honest with you, I think Hakim Ziyech will start. I think he's someone that's growing in confidence over the last couple of games. The goal against Manchester City in the FA Cup semi would have been absolutely massive for him. Christian Pulisic as well, I think, will start this game, because what they do is decisive. And I think that's been an issue with the forward line at Chelsea for a while. While Timo Werner was in their starting games, there was indecision. Thomas Tuchel does not want that to happen. He wants, when his players to go forward, to know exactly what they want to do. And I think there's just a little bit more confidence in those 3 players at the moment. Christian Pulisic only plays one way, and I think that helps Thomas Tuchel as well. He gets his head down, he'll attack players, he'll dribble at them, he'll make defenders make a decision. That's the sort of forthright play that Thomas Tuchel wants from that forward line. So yeah, I think those will be the 3. And I think there'll be a very difficult prospect for the West Ham defenders because of the movement, because of the speed as well. And of course, we've got Craig Dawson suspended. a couple of injuries in the West Ham defence as well. It'll be pretty makeshift, so Chelsea will have to go for it, I think.
Yeah, and moving on to West Ham, look, we have Jesse Lingard is unstoppable at the moment. Can he keep that going? Like you say, I think the thing that, again, head suggests that this is a really tough one for West Ham, because if you've got, Lingard playing as well as he can, that's great, but not having Declan Rice, not having Antonio for this game, not having Dawson for this game, those are three integral players for them this season. And you saw that with the points that were lost against Newcastle. I'm just hoping that there's a bit of a reset in terms of the minds and motivations of a lot of these Premier League teams, especially the 14. And I'm hoping that something comes from this and you can utilize that kind of spirit of almost an element of frustration and anger of being kind of tossed aside like they have this week. They've scored 12 set-piece goals this season. The next best is Chelsea with 7. I think if they're going to get something out of this game, it's going to come from a set piece. And a name that we have enjoyed this season, but not spoken about in the last few weeks, Thomas Tuchel, 9 goals this season. I desperately want West Ham to get into the top 4 this season. And because of that, I'm going with my heart on this one. I'm going to go with West Ham to get a draw in this game, because I think that's all they really want. They would take that. They've got a great record at home. And I think Souček, a draw and a Souček goal is my prediction for this game. What's your prediction here?
Listen, I love Thomas Tuchel. He'll want to go back into the Champions League, having experienced that with Slavia Prague a couple of seasons ago as well. And he's been absolutely fantastic since he arrived in London and the Premier League. But I think the way that West Ham play this game is going to be very, very difficult. They haven't had the majority of the possession in any of their last 14 games. Just had to check that stat. Any of their last 14 games, except for the defeat to Newcastle. So they will cede possession to Chelsea. Chelsea love that. They have a lot of the ball. I think they'll run the likes of Jesse Lingard into the ground. He's someone who will put in so much effort. But will they have that quality on the counter-attack, which is how West Ham will have to play, to make chances with the likes of Jared Bowen's pace, Jesse Lingard getting forward? I think it's going to be a really difficult day for them creating chances from open play. So I agree with you. Set pieces will be key and maybe their only opportunity. I just think if you give Chelsea that much ball, they are going to win the game. I'm going to go for Chelsea 2-0 in this game.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.